shooting, changing things.
How becoming a firearms instructor has
Define you.
no, not necessarily defined you, just what kind of changes it's had or what kind of impacts becoming a firearms instructor has had on your life? The transition out of the landscaping thing, do more of the cow business stuff. You gonna do some more instructor stuff too?
Yeah, that's my goal, is teaching more, and I'm gonna be taking less classes this year and trying to teach more. I just gotta transition into that a lot more, but yeah, I want to go more the instructor route and even some competitive route. I'm gonna start competing some too, and I competed in the USPSA match last weekend. Was it last weekend? Yeah, last weekend.
You never tell me about these things.
I didn't tell nobody, man, because I knew. Dude, I had it didn't even matter. I bombed miserably.
I did too.
It was good. It's a good old humble pie.
Yeah. That's all right. It's all right.
No, I went open with my setup, and I'm like driving a unicycle in there, driving Formula One cars.
Yeah, no kidding, dude. That's no joke. Those guys are
It was interesting.
Flying through those courses of fire.
I got 5th in open class.
That's good.
Out of 6. So I didn't lose.
Yeah.
Much.
That's all right, man.
Hopefully.
It is what it is.
But yeah, I'm gonna transition in life. It's time to start moving towards something I love, and love farming and doing all that stuff, but I also love teaching and instructing. And as of right now, with all the certifications I've got, instructor classes I've taken, it's time. So
Yeah. Start putting them some use.
yeah, I quit postponing it. But
Well, so it's been how long has it been since you started at Apache?
a little over 2 years.
Was it 2019? It was into 2019 when you showed, or beginning of 2019.
Was it?
Beginning of
I
2019.
don't even remember.
Was it pre-COVID? No, dude.
No, it was right
2000.
at COVID.
No way. We shut down. Were you here
right
for
when
the
it
county
started.
shutdown? Were you here for the county shutdown?
I don't remember, dude. I don't remember anything anymore.
Before the wall got built? Were you here before the wall got built?
I don't think so.
No?
Uh-uh.
Huh.
I mean, I remember half the wall was built.
It's been
And
a
then
minute.
we worked on the rest of
It
it.
must have been the beginning of 2020 then. It must have been the beginning of 2020. So,
It was.
Yeah,
I
so-
actually remember it was, because I had the whole life change happen 2019 and then 2020. It was the beginning of 2020.
yeah, okay. So 2020,
Yeah.
so you've been training out here for a couple of years and started instructing relatively quickly. What kind of impacts has instructing or being a firearms instructor had on your life?
It's been massive, dude. Massive for me. It helped exaggerating. Being careful with exaggerating a lot lately, but being honest, it saved me. The life and everything just wasn't doing well, and had the life change that I decided I want to change everything, do something different, do something I enjoy for fun, and it had a massive impact, more than most things I can think of in my life, really. I mean, not in just friendships with you guys and all of Apache and everybody I've met along the way, TACCON, Rangemaster, all that stuff. I mean, it's built brotherhood, friendships, family. But yeah, man, it was a life-saving thing for me.
That's awesome, dude. So in the how many students do you think you've taught in the last couple of years that you've been here? I mean, in and out of one-on-one sessions and stuff. I mean, you've probably got if I had to think
no
about, I guess 80 or so one-on-ones.
Yeah, I mean, because I did the one-on-one stuff, took over your Mondays and occasional Fridays for a while.
Yeah.
But
see, I'd
I
say
remember.
you're probably close to about 80. You've taught well, you basically taught two EDC classes. Landon helped you out with that
Yeah.
one. So you taught several. What is it like having seeing all of the skills that you've learned make an impact on somebody else? Is that the reason why you do it?
That's part of it. That's a good question. I enjoy and always have teaching and explaining things. I learn differently than a lot of people, ADD and ADHD. A lot of times I want to know why something is, not tell me how to do it right or wrong or the best way. I want to know why. And not being adversarial or questioning, but for me mentally, knowing why is a huge part of it. Because if I don't know why I'm doing something or why I shouldn't do something, it kind of doesn't give me the drive or
Right.
desire to actually do it.
Right.
But yeah, man, I really enjoy seeing that light bulb moment in students' faces in their lives and helping them become a better armed citizen, to be able to defend their families and their lives. And I just love the whole process of it.
Yeah.
And starting from, hey, first start thinking about it, have a mindset change, and it's going to be a process. It's not a quick thing. Like I did a lot of this pretty fast, but I dove in face first.
you open up your mind. I still remember that first the phone conversation that we had when you called me up, and I knew you immediately wanted to be an instructor. But when you come out, what was I know this wasn't exactly what you had expected. What was the major shift?
I was going through a lot at the time, and then I came out and I was like, yikes, I shouldn't be teaching. I'm not even good enough to even be out here at the moment. And it was good. I mean, it was good for me. Y'all, we've talked about it 1,000 times. That first time I ever came back, y'all were like, this dude ain't coming back. Or if he does, he's going to give it his all or something like that. And I don't know. For me, I really enjoyed because the first thing I did was the NRA basic pistol class. Mm-hmm. Well, I did the one-on-one session with you guys, and then did a couple, and then the NRA basic pistol class, and then the next thing pretty quick was, I wasn't in the same month or something like that.
It was probably in the same month.
Yeah, like a month later, I did the instructor class, and I got to meet all these guys.
Yeah.
I think Landon was in it with me, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, and getting to know him and Dan Brady and all those guys and Trey and you and Frank and everybody else, it was cool. That started the change, I think, in me.
What did you initially have in your mind in that phone call when you called me and told me what you wanted, right? And then my response was to kind of guide you on this to achieve the same goal, but just on a different path. I guess the question I'm asking is, what did you have envisioned prior to dialing my phone number and calling me up? What were you thinking as far as like, I'm going to be a firearms instructor, I'm going to teach, what and where and that sort of thing. And then how and why did that change?
Question. I guess it was more teaching, like when I first thought about it, I was thinking more of teaching shotgun stuff, skeet shooting stuff, and also like more concealed carry. And honestly, I eventually my first thought before I even met you guys was I wanted to start my own thing then and there. Mm-hmm. And then when I guess came into Apache and started meeting and getting to know everything and all the stuff going on, I was like, yeah, I'm not ready for this. Yeah. I'm nowhere near ready. It was good. It was eye-opening, but it was also slowing me back down. Just like we teach new students and new shooters, it's fundamentals.
Right.
If you don't get to the fundamentals of everything,
yeah.
I mean, even in learning how to type on a computer, sitting in an office chair, if you don't learn the fundamentals of where the keys are on the keyboard, I mean, same concept of grit, press trigger, don't interrupt sights. It's all, you got to start at the basics, and starting with the basics with the NRA basic pistol instructor class and all that, it was good. I needed to get back to the basics.
Sure. And
learn from the ground up. Right. But
and now you're fully capable of running your own show, man. You can come out on the range, run a full class, and feel good about it. And I've seen you perform. You're a fantastic instructor and a great influence on the cadre and other students that come out here. One thing I've been struggling with, I just kind of want to bring to light, because I didn't really learn about it until a Facebook post yesterday. I believe it was Paul Sharp who posted it on Facebook. He was talking about jiu-jitsu and training in jiu-jitsu. He's talking about imposter syndrome. You heard of imposter syndrome?
Not in depth, but
so
it makes sense.
No
the moment you said it, though.
I had no idea what this was, and I didn't realize that there was an actual definition for what I was feeling. So there's been a long part of my career in this so far that I felt like this, like I wasn't where I was supposed to be, or because I was constantly comparing myself to my my mentors, the guys that have really Spalding, Givens, all of these guys who've been training me along the way. I'm like, I'm just not there yet. I'm just not there. What gives me the right to step up in front of a class and teach these students, and I'm nowhere near at their level, and
I have a lot of that.
Yeah, man, and that stress, that anxiety that it puts on you, like it's difficult it's difficult to find that confidence and accept the fact that I do belong here.
Yeah.
And I am making a difference. We are making a change, and what we do matters. And I need to continue. And I still have a hard time understanding, like, this is my first year. I'm actually getting on the road now. I'm traveling around and teaching. I can't believe it. TACCON was cool. TACCON was so overwhelming for me. Yeah. Like, walking into that instructor dinner that evening, I know I told you about that, but like, oh my God, dude. Yeah. All of these, I knew just about everyone in that room. And there was a ton of different trainers there. I knew every one of their names, and none of them knew me. Yeah. And having people like Tim Herron come up to me and like kind of coach me through it and welcome me, and Scott Jedlinski, Tim Chandler, and Ashton Ray, a lot of these, Evie Kolskar, a lot of these other Cecil Birch, God, I can name off a ton of them, but they all made you feel very welcome there.
That's cool.
And it's really something I felt like I needed to try and overcome some of that imposter syndrome and realize that I have that place. Yeah. Do you feel that way at times? Like,
oh yeah, I have a lot
dealing with that.
Man, it's a process. A lot of this is a process for me, and I guess where I was at in life when I first started, I did have a lot of self-doubt, and I come across as prideful a lot. And I mean, everybody sees it, but in actuality, inside, it's a lot of self-doubt. Yeah. It's questioning, it's insecurities. It's trying to be a part of something and then thinking, do I deserve to be here? Should I be here? Like that's a lot of course, my internal stuff, and everybody has self-doubt sometimes and things like that. But me, with everything I went through, it was tough to manage and overcome. But like I said, it was a process, and finally started becoming more real when I just owned it.
Yeah.
And not owning it in the sense of, oh, I deserve to be out here. I'm better than it. I can beat this guy. No, it's just, man, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I want to be here. Maybe I have earned the right to be here and earned everything I've done and have, but at the same time, it's just accepting and being confident and just owning it. Yeah. Owning your skills, your deficiencies, your heart, your mind, your life, your everything else in between. It was a process for me. Yeah. Now I don't feel like I have to prove a lot of things. I mean, sometimes, of course, that'll always come up. But most of the time, I'm just like, hey, how can I help? And what can I do? It's a lot more owning it for me.
Sure. Yeah, the conversation I was actually having with Dan Brady, and Dan's been a mentor to me ever since I met him. Been a huge influence on the cadre and the way I handle certain things. I know he's had a huge impact on you, and we were discussing
I love some Dan Brady.
Yeah, man. But I mean, believing that I'm on the same level of a trainer as someone like him who's got such a vast knowledge and experience in the game, and it's tough. But when I have I've had some of these conversations with other trainers. Like how do you feel when there's several times that you've showed up and beat me, outperformed me in competitions on the line, and just shooting in practice and stuff like that. I mean, we've sparred several times together. There's several times that you've far surpassed me, right? And when I talk to some of the other trainers, and that I've heard some people get kind of like upset about that type of thing. They beat themselves up, like, damn, man, I knew I really need to put in more work. I need to drive fire. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, isn't that what you want?
Yeah.
Like at some point in time, is that not like one of the most rewarding experiences to be able to watch somebody go from, as you said, walking into this thing with your life in a completely different time in your life where it was a little bit difficult for you, right? And not only watch you grow and outperform me as a shooter, but overcome so many obstacles along the way and become a better man. That is why I do it. I love seeing that take place, and I'm a firm believer and always have been in celebrating people's accomplishments, and I would say you've done really well, man. You've done really well along the way, and
I appreciate it.
You deserve the celebration. I know I've told you time and time again, dude. You need to pick one. You need to pick
Sure.
one. You need to either be a USPSA Grandmaster, because I know several people who would all agree that you could definitely achieve that.
I appreciate it.
Or you need to go forward and be the excellent trainer that you are. You need to pick a route and dedicate yourself to it, because man, you've got a lot to offer. You have a lot to offer people.
I think it is doable to do both, but it's
sure.
Yeah, I mean, I got too many irons in the fire to give that a whirl at the moment, but that's why I'm dwindling back down to the basics, like we originally talked about, is back to the fundamentals and the basics, and go from there. Man, there's a lot, and like we said, it's a process, and I appreciate everything you've ever done and taught me and learned together. And one of my favorite things has been the whole me and you back and forth and just competing against each other and be like, oh, you got one, all right. Just mumbling or something to each other and picking on each other, and I think it's so important because me and you have been able to push each other further than I could have gone without you, or vice versa. And it's been really cool to have that camaraderie and competitiveness between each other. But yeah.
So, anything you would have changed or done differently? As far as the route you've taken as an instructor?
No, man, I don't think there's very much at all I would have changed. Maybe learn some things quicker. You had said a second ago that you asked an original question of at the very beginning of this about how I thought about why I wanted to teach. Throughout this whole thing, I really thought about it. And at the beginning, for me, it was to become a better man. It wasn't about the students. It is now. And I still have that in the back of my head of what can I work on, what can I do this, but I wanted to become a better man. I wanted to become more knowledgeable in this area, or for me, a more godly man, and just devote more of my life to Christ and to be a better man in general. Of course, that's a tough road, always. But this whole thing, and Apache, and teaching and instructing and competing and all that stuff, is still constantly making me a better man and making me fall flat on my face sometimes. But I welcome it now. I used to get upset about it. I'd be like, oh, what can I do? What can I do? Now I'm just like, I'm an idiot.
I recognize this.
Yeah. But
it's not new to you anymore. That's good.
Yeah, I wouldn't change a thing, man. I mean, maybe learn something quicker, but that's the process of life. Learning and growing and moving forward.
Absolutely, man. Well, one last thing, and then we'll wrap it up. Got any advice for anybody considering? I've got a couple of people in mind right now who are, aspiring firearms instructors. You got any short snippets of what you think you could offer them as far as guidance on what they could do to become better instructors? Guys that don't want to go out on their own, do their own thing, that sort of thing.
That's something I just thought about. If I would change something, it's also advice. Enjoy the process. I can never go back to not knowing something, for the most part. Sure. Going back to the original, I didn't know this. It's exciting to learn. It's exciting to learn something new and then apply it to your life, or talk about it with you and the other Apache guys and girls. And best advice: enjoy the process, take your time, and learn as much as you can. That's what I would do. And have fun. It's not that serious.
Well, I mean, it is, but it isn't. Yeah. You're absolutely right, because if I treat this as if it's an absolute job, I've got to do this, I've got to learn this, I've got to do this, I've got to learn this. Man, you burn out and you just eventually fall to the wayside and you don't want to do it anymore. I've seen several people do that.
Yeah.
If you start treating this like it's, know your main goal, I guess, right?
Yeah.
If your main goal is to help other people and become a better man, stuff like that, something larger than I want to go make a bunch of money. If you're trying to make a bunch of money, don't try to become a firearms instructor. Yeah. All right, man. I really enjoyed our conversation. So hopefully we can do it again sometime. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Is it time to cuddle now?
Yeah. Oh, do I need to do this?
Oh, I thought we were cuddling.
Out here.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to do that second. Okay.
Oh.
All right, guys, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down below a comment or a topic that you would like to hear us talk about next time.
Bye.
See you guys. We look forward to seeing you out here.
Bye.
Arches and stuff. Yeah.
Your
That's
freaking
how
eyeball
quail
so
are
jacked up,
regulated.
dude. You can't sit it.
Dude,
You can't sit it up there.
I'm going
It's a
off
poultry.
that crack and the.
Look at the couch, bro. Look at the couch.
Move your hand, honey. Look.
No, bro, put yours down. What do you think? Is that centered? Colton?
No, not on the couch.
Stop.
But like,
Have you seen those videos?
you
I
wanted
want
that.
the whole thing to be centered, bro. You can't have that.
Well, I got
Hang
it
off.
as close as I could.
We're warming up the couch for you.
Man.
That was